Hi there, and welcome to Thoughts Over Coffee, giving you the time and the space to think and connect with others. So, if you've got 5 minutes, join us for today's video and a podcast, which is all about stopping expanding your first impressions. Now, what's really interesting is we all know we're very, very fast thinkers. And actually, if you take the average speed of human thinking, it's 4 times quicker than Google takes to load on a mobile device with a perfect signal. Yes, we can think in 150 milliseconds, whereas Google takes 600 milliseconds to load. There you go, that's fact for the day. So why is it when we use our brain, which is so powerful, and we think about stuff, we overexpand first impressions and we start drawing invalid conclusions from what we see, from different things that we see, and we draw behaviours as a result out the back of it. Say something like, she didn't text me back, didn't like it. Or alternatively, he didn't say hello to me. Oh, I must have really upset him last time. You take those first thoughts and bang, look what happens. You start drawing conclusions. Conclusions which are more often than not completely invalid, but it's a normal human thing. So how do we stop it? How do we stop wasting time? Stop this energy biting away at us during that? So what we're going to look at is a 2-day technique, which is going to help you change that. But to change it, you need to recognize the behavior. So here we go. Here's day 1 and actions you do on day 1. So in day 1, you walk around with a pen and a piece of paper. And what you do is you count how many of these random thoughts you have in a day. So let me tell you, when I did this, I had 24 of these thoughts in a day, where I looked at someone, drew a first impression and started thinking. And I started noting these down. So 24 I had in a day. So just don't do anything else, just note them. Let your mind wander, do whatever you like. Then come back armed with that knowledge in day 2 and that awareness from day 1, and then just be aware of it in day 2. But when you be aware of the first impression, in other words, I didn't get a text back. Great, you didn't get a text back. Fact. Don't then draw conclusions. Move on. Start thinking of something else, but force your brain to think of something else yourself to stop that building of that first impression. And you then start training the brain to stop working on these things and stop eating away negativity, which it doesn't need to do, because the human brain tends to think more in a negative way as opposed to something positive, drawing from a first conclusion if something is uncertain. If you go back in history to the days of Marcus Aurelius, who was a well-known Stoic from Greece in the turn of the BC AD to BC, he had a phrase in his meditations which was, from his Stoic advice, stick with first impressions, don't extrapolate, and nothing can happen. So if you take that conclusion and you build it further, how often do these things where you look at something and you extrapolate it, so you actually build on that first impression, are never true? So for instance, oh, they didn't text me back, they don't like it. Well, actually, fact, they didn't text back. But what happens? 2 hours later, you get a text back saying, oh, do you know what, that meal was amazing. So what's actually happened during that 2 hours between sending that text, starting to think that, and then receiving the text back? I'll tell you what's happened. Your brain starts working overtime, all sorts of negativity. It starts chewing away at different things, and it stops you from being creative. It stops you thinking about other things with complete clarity. Didn't get a text, move on, park it. And then you can use your brain for other things and start focusing on other things. And then what happens? It comes back. Now, what this is about, and a lot of Stoicism is about controlling the things you can control. It may sound very simple, but often we don't. We try and control things that are outside of our control. So, fact, didn't text. Move on. You can't control that. You can't control when someone else is going to text back. Does it make any difference? No, it's not. So if it's not in your control, move on. It's not in your control. Go and do something that is. So use your mind to do things you can control. Use your mind to work on your goals, which are within your control. Your activities, which are within your control. Your work, your hobbies, your family, all things that are within your control. Work on those and don't work on things that are not within your control. Stop thinking about what you think other things mean and control what you can control. And with the finite time that you have, because that's another thing that a lot of people don't take into account, time is very finite. Make sure you utilize that and you utilize that well. And to help you with this, I'm going to put a video in the card here, which will help you. It's called my 15-minute rule. Have a look at this. This will help you maximize your performance by breaking things down into 15 or 20-minute at no more chunks of time to give you real focus and things that you can do, you can control within that. Thanks very much for watching today's Thoughts Over Coffee. Hope you join us for the next one. If you're on podcast, please do join the link below in the YouTube and continue the conversation going there. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.